Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans. Thanks very much for joining us. You've joined us right at the green flag there. We're on pole for Heat 1. This is round 3 of the InKart. Justin got a slightly better start. He was on the right just then, but we've managed with track position to hold position. Here is the outboard. Thank you very much again to Aidan Fallon here, who's taking the shots outboard. There we are. We're going all the way down into the Vale corner there. Pretty terrifying, I have to say, actually. It drops away it's sort of a little bit off camber. You'll notice that Justin's lost one position there to a lightweight driver. Now that's not the end of the world as we round this hairpin here. We go ever so slightly wide. We make that mistake there, and we're going to invite a move up the inside, a robust move. Just sort of throw my hand up a little bit, not really that much wrong. He does actually get a bumping warning for that. It wasn't a totally clean move, but you can see that already he's quite a lot quicker than us. Like I said, it is a lightweight driver, but this is the alternate reverse circuit, and I have to say I wasn't overly sort of confident about this one. This circuit, this is Vale, by the way, this is where he's sort of going downhill. The camera doesn't really show it. Some of Aidan Fallon's images show it much better than this. Yeah, it's quite a drop, quite a significant drop. We've got a yellow flag over there, Dante Dillon with the doing the marshalling just there behind Vale. So something's gone on behind us. I'm not entirely sure what that is. This guy ahead, quite significantly faster than us actually. And what I was going to say, there's no bumping board. What I was going to say was this track layout really kind of rewards people who can get good exits. And you'll notice that compared to the driver in front, I'm turning in too early. And again, it's just so frustrating watching this because I can see the mistakes. It's so obvious when you watch it back, isn't it? You see that I'm turning in too early. Now this corner here, actually, into the heavy braking zone, there's actually a bit of a dip just there. So you can actually turn in early because you can kind of hook the car around by doing that. So in every other instance though, I think turning in a little bit too early. If you look at how this guy in front of us is driving, he's just gapping us on the exits and he's going for very, very late apexes, whereas we are not. Silly anyway. But this is a lap, so this is turn 1 into the left-hander followed by right-hander. This is quite a significant climb up here, and then turn 3. Now super important, I'm shaking my head there because I've got a snapper of oversteer, and I've actually checked around to see Justin is still pretty close to me. Round the terrifying left-hand Vale, I got a blister on my right hand by the end of this. I know it doesn't look like I'm doing much over correction, but believe me, I'm gripping the wheel pretty hard. Blister on my right hand there. Going for a late apex into this very slow corner. Really important not to get the revs dropping too low. Another late apex here, trying for maximum cleanliness, no slippage, and then into the left hander. And that is a lap of the alternate reverse layout. Very, very tricky to get right. Not one that you can practice if you come here, because they only put this as we get a cleaner exit now. They only sort of let you do this if you're a championship driver. So we've got a yellow flag. No, sorry. Yellow flag's gone back in again. We have got a yellow flag, and this is important actually. There is Nick Fallon, who unfortunately has got into a bit of trouble. He has actually been mounted. He has been mounted there by another driver. Not sure what happened exactly, but very unfortunate for him. He's in the barrier, as we're gonna see, that actually has some implications for him and for the race and for the championship later on. So stick around to the end. Because you're going to see exactly what happens. But as you can see, this guy ahead, he is lighter than us, but he is also driving better than us. There's so many things that I'm trying to remember all at once. And I think with regard to the issue of turning in too early, I think it might be a little bit fatigue as the track is clear and we're back underway. I came and I did 3 sessions here at Daytona Sandown Park the previous day to this. 2 sprint races, so that's 20 minutes, plus 10 minutes qualifying, and then a D40. Nothing else much happened in that race, so I've carried on, and I'll come back to this point in a minute. We're starting 7th in Heat 2, so we can see the guys battling ahead of us, looking for a way through, sort of up the inside of Simon here. We're going to have to go all the way around the outside, slight touch, but we actually get a slightly better exit. This is going to be a bit more of an interesting watch, this heat, because rather than just watching someone go away from me. Here's Justin. Justin is 1 point behind us in the championship at the moment, so this is going to be really, really important not to let him get ahead of us. Slight touch there from behind, but it's okay. We live to fight another day. Trying to be as clean as possible into this right-hander. We don't get a great exit. You see there again, it's a perennial problem. Mark goes for a move up the inside of Justin, and we're able to take advantage of that. So we're actually up into P3 now. We're up into P4. Nick Fallon leads. Alex Tucker second. We've got our new, I'm really sorry, driving third at the moment. You were very, very quick. I've forgotten your name. But yeah, you were very, very quick. So we're actually fourth, but we are one place ahead now of our championship rival, Justin. Pretty fortunate as the two ahead of us battle, as they are battling. It's allowing us to close in on them. Good move from Alex there, goes back up the inside. Now he's going to defend. Driver in third gets the cut back, and here we are. Alex, I think, just puts his hand out to realise that he's had it there. Alex is another heavyweight driver, so important that we make a move on him. And someone's been off on the grass there as well. That happened at the end of Heat 1, just knocking to the back of Alex slightly. Never good for your momentum, particularly when you're going uphill. Note to self, do not crash into kart in front. But we are now right on the back of Alex, just losing out the straight a little bit. Again, perennial problem for me. Cannot seem to sort that out. Probably taking a little bit too much speed into the corners. But like I said, actually going back to the point I was about to make, as I'm going to go for the move here. Actually, watch this. Terrible drive when you let that Rotax engine when you let that Rotax engine drop off the rev band, you get absolutely no drive. We actually had to go defensive there to stop Justin from moving up the inside. I could feel he was right there. The hunter has become the hunted, so we've got all this work to do again. Yeah, I did 2 sprint races the previous day to this, so that's 20 minutes, 40 minutes plus 10 minutes qualifying each. So that's an hour, and then a D40 after that, so 10 minutes plus 40, so about 1 hour and 50 minutes worth of karting. I think I noticed with regard to turning in too early, it's because the vision is wrong. I'm not looking far enough ahead, not looking at the apex, not looking then at the exit of the corner, not looking where I want to go. Looking at the apex is something I'm looking at the start of the corner, but not at the end. And sometimes you can't look at where you need to go at the end because you've got tyres blocking you, or a wall or something like that. In which case you just have to know where on the track you need to be. But bit of a problem. And very, very obvious, very, very clear to me here, the issues that I've got, and it's just a matter of trying to sort that out. I keep a list on my phone of all the driving techniques that I've learned over the years, and it's become quite a long list. The issue is I can't remember to do all of it, particularly if I'm tired. I cannot remember to do all of it. All of the time, particularly if it's something that's not natural to me, or you are dealing with a little bit of fatigue. So it's just a matter of practice, isn't it? And I think if you're watching this and you're looking to improve your driving and your driving technique, I'd recommend doing one thing at a time. Do one thing, like work on your braking, for example, until your braking is perfect and you don't even have to think about it. So chasing Alex in here, he goes defensive actually a little bit early. That was a better apex there. A little bit early for him to go defensive. I think he feels that I'm closer than I actually am, and he's having a little look around now. I'm having a look around as well. Now, most people say it's not worth looking around. I understand what they're saying. If you're looking around, it's an invitation. for you to have a pop at the driver in front. I'm looking around. I'm looking at Alex now. And I see him looking around, and I'm thinking, right, good. He knows I'm there. He might be intimidated. He might make a bit of a mistake, which I'll be able to capitalise on. However, I looked around as well, and the reason I did that was because I wanted to know where Justin was, and if Justin's in striking distance of me, I've got to be really careful. Let's see what we can do. Alex goes defensive again, and he just loses it. He just locks up, and he goes around. It's a very, very heavy braking point, that heaviest braking point on the track. Very easy to do, particularly if you're offline. There's no rubber down there because it's not part of the track, which is normally a braking zone. So yeah, it's quite a lot more slippery. But that has done us a massive favour. That's kind of it for the action in this one. So we're going to skip it forward again, and all of that has put us P2 in the final. So pretty handy there. It was a P1 in class in both heats, and it was a P2 and a P3 overall. So the green flag drops. Now this is actually our second go at the start. Simon Fuller actually had a kart failure, so you'll notice a little bit of blue smoke coming out of P1's kart. That's because we've been sat for a little while whilst the Daytona engineers fixed the problem with Simon's kart. He actually had to get a new one. We're off, and it's myself. Sorry, it's the driver in front, and myself, and Nick Fallon. So Nick has got some work to do here because he's in a monumental battle with Tom Brown for the championship, and yeah, Nick really quick. The game plan is really not to hold him up. I don't really want to be getting in a battle with Nick. He did actually go for a move up the inside into turn 3, but I didn't want to be compromised on that long straight. I didn't want to be swallowed up by my title rivals. So if the opportunity arises, then I certainly won't be. I don't know if I'm just wading through, but I certainly won't be holding Nick up if there's an opportunity for him to just drive past me. My main battle is with the heavyweight drivers behind him, and it's just going to be a case at the moment of trying to ensure that I finish the race as quickly as possible. There was some talk about this at the Belgian Grand Prix, which was yesterday, and at the time of this voiceover taking place, they were talking about just finishing the race as quickly as possible, because when drivers are out of position, they're going to get past you anyway. Like Max Verstappen, for example, he was out of position. Now all of a sudden here, things were pretty boring, but we've got a yellow flag, and it's a full course yellow. So hands up. And it's going to become apparent as we turn this corner here, and we see the very unfortunate sight of Nick Fallon. There he is walking back, and his cart has come to a stop. So really sorry for him. This is what it looked like. This is the lap before. Justin's right on my tail, then Mark, and there's Nick, who are very frustrated. Now Nick actually, you can see there that the passion that Nick has, and I know exactly how he feels. It's really horrible when your cart comes to a stop, and there's nothing you can do. You sort of sacrifice so much. I'm sure Nick doesn't have to worry about this, but I have to really watch my weight. Yeah, when you get let down, it's a real shame. But what I will say here is a couple of really important points I want to make. First of all, Nick was obviously a little bit frustrated there. He goes from his comment himself was, obviously at the time I was really frustrated. By the time we got back to the paddock, he was his usual happy-go-lucky self again, really sort of like pleasant and professional. He works for Daytona actually, and that was actually, it provided a really interesting insight, because Nick was able to go and find out what happened. And actually it was the mounting that Nick received earlier, the mounting he got in Heat 1. They actually found, the engineers at Daytona actually found that it damaged the kart, and actually in a way it was quite impressive that the kart lasted as long as it did, but the chain had come off, and what had actually happened was the chain guard and some of the teeth on the sprocket were actually damaged as a result of the accident that Nick was involved with. So actually that kart lasted quite a long time. It wasn't a maintenance issue on behalf of Daytona, just a little bit of crash damage, which took a while before it actually became terminal. So no one's fault really, that one, and very sorry for Nick, because of course Tom Brown, his main title rival, very sadly wasn't here today to battle it out. Tom was actually on holiday. So I think Nick was really hoping to sort of make some inroads and score some points, score some really good points, whilst Tom wasn't here. Now, of course, Nick will get points in the championship, but certainly not as many as he deserves today. Yeah, unfortunate one for him there. But as we say, that is motorsport, unfortunately, and I certainly know the feeling myself. Actually, I think it makes it a little bit more authentic, isn't it, when the karts break down. And again, what I would say as well is that if any of us were that worried about the breakdowns happening, we wouldn't drive two-stroke karting, because the four-strokes are much more reliable. But we all, I think, accept the risk that the two-stroke is going to be a little bit more sort of fragile, and we still choose to drive them because they are faster and because there's nothing else that feels like these DMAX or the Club 100 karts. They're very similar in terms of specification, very kind of unique feeling in these karts, certainly very different to the four strokes that most karting venues use. And talking about just the venue and everything, you'll notice that there was only 7 of us, and August is always a difficult time, isn't it? People on holiday, people taking the kids out, that sort of thing. But if you are a karter anywhere in the southeast of England, or you're particularly in close to southwest London, Esher, southwest London, or Surrey, I suppose, do come down and give us a race. It'd be really, really great to have a few more people battling it out with us. It's a really good group, actually. The racing, I'm sure you can see, is really clean, really fair, and really, really good fun. So it'd be great to have a few more people getting involved with this. So yeah, please do consider it. I think normally people ask me about price for championship rounds for these two-stroke karts. It's something like £143. As I get the apex wrong there again, £143, something like that. They will give you some money off if you book a whole season in advance as well, which again is about £75 worth of credit that they give you, so you can come and use that for a practice session or an open race, D40, something like that. So yeah, worth considering. But yeah, there we have it. Not a huge amount. I wish I could show you what's happening behind, because whilst it looks quite sedate and a little bit boring, dare I say, it certainly wasn't from where I was sitting, because right behind me, Justin, Mark, Alex Tucker, they are all there. Just behind me, there's a sort of that second gap between each of us, and in this highly momentous, high level of momentum. What do I mean? Yeah, momentum. Not really momentous, is it? But yeah, you need to keep your momentum up in this in this track. Any kind of mistake will result in quite a significant amount of time loss. Obviously we're not really after that. Rounding this corner now, we have nearly seen the threat away, very, very nearly. Just got a couple more corners, and I believe this is going to be it. I believe this is going to be the final lap. There it is, there's a checkered flag. So P1 in class in heats 1, 2 and the final. So really pleased with that, and good news for the championship. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please do have a like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one.